I'm gonna be completely honest here. Riot Vanguard does not work. And I'm not saying that just to clickbait. I'm not saying that because I just lost a game or not. I'm saying that because it genuinely does not work. I've been playing League of Legends since the year 2019. I came in during the time period a lot of older people started to quit. So I've been very accepting of Riot's changes towards the game. Whether it be with the rune system or the new characters, all that seems fine. And when they released Project A, better known as Valorant, I completely was clueless to how kernel level anti-cheats worked. And in my head I thought, if it's at the kernel level, the root of my computer, there should be no issue with cheaters, right? And that's simply not true. The deeper you get into security for computers and the deeper you get into understanding how security works, it doesn't really make a difference if anti-cheat software is kernel level or not. People are going to cheat no matter what. And there is a false sense of security that everything will be okay simply because it's a kernel level anti-cheat. I'm honestly kind of done. I don't believe that kernel level anti-cheats help at all, and there's so many out there at this point. All these devs keep putting so much emphasis on the fact that it's kernel level, even though it means nothing to those that understand how security works. I want to show you this game, right? And it's not any footage at all that's from like a random stream or anything, it's my footage. I was playing a random game, and we came across this Ashe, default skin Ashe in a ranked game, which was already like pretty suspicious. You don't really see default skins too often, and when you do, it's either because someone's never played a character before. So it really was confusing, besides my Caitlyn just giving them a free kill, which is completely irrelevant to this video. But anyways, she managed to dodge every single skill shot thrown at her. And it wasn't just me and my Caitlyn, it was my entire team. It takes 4 people to kill this Ashe consistently, and even then we're trading with her. Because her attack move is inhuman, and to those that might say, hey, that guy's just as good as Uzi or One Night, break their line. Guess what? He's just better than you, accept it. Well, no, I'm not. Sometimes you have to question what just happened. And I think a lot about the situations I put myself in League of Legends. I'm not your average Yasuo assassin main that's just gonna run it down every single game. I tend to look at my deaths and I go, okay, I deserve that death. Even when I'm playing completely aggressive or defensive, I deserve it sometimes. And that could be because I'm playing too defensive or too offensively. But when a character or person is playing that well, it's clearly not real. If you just look at the way this person attack moves, it's just not consistent. And the worst part is that this anti-cheat is supposed to help this, but I don't think it matters at this point. I don't understand why we don't just have community replays that reward people for catching suspicious cheaters. And then if enough people are coming back and telling you that, hey, this guy is clearly cheating, we need to ban him, then do it. I'm so sick of Riot and other game companies not taking the extra step and just adding features so that the community can ban people. If the technology isn't there to catch people cheating in games with blatantly good mechanics, then it shouldn't matter. I don't care if it's a fighting game, a MOBA, or a FPS game. There should be something out there to detect people like that. And if you need a community replay system that reports people, then do it. I don't see the problem with that. And it can't take longer than a week to code. Even in Valorant's case with not having a replay system, which has been memed to death at this point, every game needs one at this point, regardless or not. Even with League's bare bone replay system, it at least lets me understand what happened and why it happened. The fact that Valorant doesn't even have one bothers me, because there's probably so many people that cheat under the radar. I want to break this down for a brief second as well. If people are cheating, and there's kernel level anti-cheats, what else could they cheat with? Like, think about that for a second. Because you don't need to put your cheats directly on your PC these days. You can just load it onto a mouse or any other device at this point, because that's also how people cheat on consoles. So I don't understand why devs can't just go that extra step and look towards coding something that can stop this altogether. And even if you can't code something like that, which now that I say out loud is probably even more difficult, and someone that's doing that would probably take years to figure out how to beat that, Why don't you just add, again, a community replay system? I'm gonna keep emphasizing that, because there's no reason that cheats should get this bad. This guy's on a blatant level 30 account, right? And if he's on a level 30 account and he has that big of a win rate, that means something is super suspicious. He's either a smurf, but even smurfs lose games. But clearly from the way he's playing, it's not just that. There's definitely some enhancement there. And it's not a duo because he has a different team every game. So he's clearly just cheating. And it's crazy to me that the system doesn't detect this and think that this is suspicious at all. If it's that suspicious, Riot should have someone that sees accounts like this and flag them. And I know that this is probably only an A and EU West problem, because overseas, I'm guessing, like in Korea and China, they don't really have cheaters that much, and that's just because their culture is way different than ours. People actually put their livelihood into these games and actually care about the time they put in. So I can understand that over there it doesn't really matter, and cheats are gonna be more rare because there's even laws to prevent people from doing that. But over here, we don't really care about video games as much, or the culture that they have. So there has to be something else. It really irks my soul knowing that there's no one else putting in Overwatch anymore. Even CSGO finally got rid of it with CS2. The fact that no game at this point has a replay system that report people is crazy. I've seen Rainbow Six YouTubers do it so far, but even then they have to make entire YouTube videos or streams to get people banned at this point. And the cheating is just getting absurd. We need to just have a section of a company, maybe a team of like 10 to 20 people that just get paid to review replays that are coming in from the community. Especially if a replay gets flagged enough times, right? That would create a system to where people can just easily get rid of cheaters, and that reduces the amount of cheaters by day. Which means that instead of getting a cheater every other game, or every 10 games for some people, you get like a cheater every 100 games. There's millions of people that play public matchmaking on all types of games. And it's crazy to me that we just don't have that support anymore. I don't even expect the devs to do anything because they're too busy lining their pockets with our money. But we should at least have our community stand out. I'm so sick of booting up these games and knowing that I have to go on a random Discord server just so that I can communicate with the community. It really irks my soul, but that's just a random tangent at this point. I just don't understand why we can't have anything nice. I also want to make a small emphasis on the fact that, again, just like all these other kernel level anti-cheats, they send data back to their host. But what really irks me is what data are they collecting at this point if no cheats are being detected? I don't really care if they're using it at this point for malicious intent, because pretty much every company does that. Every company is going to use your personal data and sell it to other people, regardless of the fact that you gave them permission or not. And that's just something that's going to change as we get older. But it does suck that I know that Riot Vanguard's always running on my PC. Half of the time, it's probably listening to me ramble about League of Legends and how much I the game. And I really don't want them to hear that, because I genuinely do care about their game. But that's all they're gonna hear, and that's all they really want to hear anyway. So that's on them. I don't really care at this point. But I will say, I haven't bought a skin in months. So for most people, all I'm gonna say is just don't financially support them. Don't put your money into the game, because that's really how you get your voice heard at the end of the day. And I'm not saying to boycott them, like get a whole group of people together and say fuck you Riot Games. That's not how you get anything solved. But genuinely, just don't put your money into it. And if you really don't like the game that much to where you're not even enjoying the gameplay anymore, just stop playing. When I had stopped playing League, I just go play any other game. I have hundreds of other games to play. Whether that's other RPG games, or I can just go play fighting games or FPS games. I love League to death. I love a lot of the characters. I love the lore, for the most part. But it's a damn shame that this is the point we're at, huh? And I know it's been done to death. There's probably countless YouTube videos you can watch at this point describing on how bad kernel level anti-cheats are. But I just wanted to get my voice out there because I just genuinely don't understand why we keep pushing for kernel level anti-cheats when people are putting cheats on their mice, their controllers, etc. There's just no reason it should be kernel level. Like, why the fuck does Riot Vanguard have to be running 24/7? It genuinely irks my soul knowing that it's running that long and nothing changes. It's crazy to me. Um, anyways, that's it for today's video. I'm kinda excited. I don't think I've ever ran a YouTube channel before, but I'm really glad to see the fact that I've hit 500 views on a video. I know that's not crazy, but it's cool to me at least. As always, please like, subscribe, and share. I really want to grow this channel and do other types of content. I'm just kind of doing the first thing that comes to my mind anytime I'm playing League or any other games. So that's just how I want it to work at this point. I also want Riot Games to support smaller creators and stop supporting just the big dogs like Tyler1 and Dante's. And even then, they don't really support Dante's as is because of his personality. But I genuinely don't understand why we can't make other types of content other than streaming the game itself. I think League needs to actually get their stuff together at this point, because now they're running 3 games by the end of this year. And if they're gonna have 3 games, they need to put more emphasis on the community so that it takes more time off of their hands and more into ours. If people genuinely like your game, they're gonna put more time and put more content into the game. I don't want to wake up every day and just play this game like it's a 9-to-5 job, but I genuinely have passion for this game. I just don't understand why we can't have nice things. We haven't even gotten something like the Snow Rift in years, and I would appreciate something as simple as that. But now we just get recycled game modes. It feels like I'm playing a dead game every day. Sometimes it makes me wish for League of Legends too, but I know it's never gonna come. This game is gonna keep getting updated until I die, and it sucks to say that, but that's just the way it is. I think Riot's just branching off into different divisions just in case this game dies one day. With how popular it is overseas, I doubt that'll be an issue. I also wish I recorded my footage of this Ash game, but I didn't, so there's no audio of me talking during that time period. I was cursing up a storm either way, so I don't even know if you wanted to hear that. But yeah, this is basically all the footage from this Ash game. I don't know if you see it either, but that clearly looks like someone's cheating, so